Anyone played a skeleton as a player character? It's pretty much all I do. I literally can't stop. I work it into every game I play, every group. I'm probably that guy, but I don't even care. My face when I do whatever it takes, be it backstory, setting rationalization, feats and rules lawyering, etc. My face when been doing it for over a year. My face when playing a lawyer in a Victorian magical setting named Gerald Clavicle Sternumstein as we speak. My face when I've played a warrior, a wizard, a bum, an engineer in a space opera, a bard, a cleric, a physical adept, a policeman, a superhero, and a science officer. All skeletons. My face when I vary my roleplay quite a bit. Sometimes I'm a dick, sometimes I'm a pun machine, sometimes I'm a gregarious, if somewhat misunderstood, nice guy. Sometimes I'm a dirty old man. Sometimes I'm a grizzled veteran. Sometimes I'm a tenderfoot trying to act like I have a shred of competency. Still, always a skeleton. One of my better campaigns. Friend of a friend introduced to one of my groups. Mostly new players. Really just there as a favor to the DM to introduce group to roleplay. Roll up a skeleton, as always, playing a drill sergeant, ex-legionnaire sellsword. Wearing full plate with a mask. Stealthmode.svg. Meet the party in a cave system swarming with gobos. They saved my ass from a bugbear. Thanks for throwing me a bone. Everyone having a good time. I'm getting everyone to open up and start getting into RP. Turns out I've created a monster in doing so. One of them starts playing their rogue like an edgelord. Dark past, moral ambivalence, tries to derail and get the spotlight constantly. Contrary for no reason for my anti-hero reasons. The works. Starts to detract from everyone else's experience. I've got a bone to pick with you. When he tries to go into snowflake diatribes and such, go out of my way to get the game back on track. Bandits jump the party, we turn the tables, have them hogtied. Edge Rogue immediately slits one's throat before we can get any info. I don't find this humorous. Start talking about how his character's dad was a bandit that raped his mom or some such nonsense to rationalize unnecessary slaughter. I could give a shit. Grow a spine and take responsibility. Gauntlet slap the shit out of him to stop the jaw flapping, get relevant info out of bandits, and let them go. Player tones it down after that. Think problem is solved. Still give him a gentle ribbing every now and again. Note that my player sleeps in his plate and helmet, never takes it off, so no one knows I'm a skeleton yet. Play him like enough of a crazy old man that no one questions this. Something is wrong one night. I can feel it in my bones. The rogue sneaks into my tent, thinks I'm asleep and not eternally watching. Slides dagger in between breastplate and mail on my underarm. DM. No damage. Oh boy, are you boned now, son. Grab his wrist. Flip up visor. I shit you not, the DM spontaneously scrolls down like a paragraph, probably because he was just as tired of this guy's shit as we all were at this point, passes the note to the rogue player, His face was priceless. Note was basically detailed description of my empty sockets looking at him disapprovingly. Mind you, I'm not playing a min-maxed or overpowered character. I'm just a skeleton with experience on his side. He rolls opposed check for grapple, and the house-ruled fear system we use fails both. "What's wrong, boy? You look a bit rattled." Wrestle him out of the tent into the center of camp. He's furiously stabbing with little to no effect. Hold him down and beat him unconscious with my righteous bony fists while spouting pent-up skeleton one-liners. Truss him up like a turkey. By this point, the other PCs are awake, wondering what's going on. At max fear, it becomes difficult to do anything effectively with our system. Visor is down before anyone else is the wiser. Edgerogue tried to gut me in the night. Thick-skulled bastard thought he could get away with it. Wink at the player. Rogue starts screaming about how I'm an evil demon, not to trust me, etc. How pathetic. Now he's trying to weasel his way out of this. Party has no reason to suspect me given this douche canoe's track record. I'm a nice man, so I'll give you a choice. You can opt to hang at the next town for being stupid enough to attempt to murder me around so many witnesses, or I take your things, I take your gold, and I take your right hand. Afterwards, you'll take the vow of poverty at the nearest monastery. My old bones will rest easy either way. The player pleads with the DM out of character and complains of unfairness in equal measure. DM: You tried to kill him. You should have known this was a possibility. My skull when he leaves the play session in a huff, and the group is happy to detour to the nearest gallows. Adventuring goes on as usual for a while. Kid playing the Edgerogue is back the fuck off by choice, and his absence is felt in the best way. Local 2-bit noble gets wind of our exploits, wants us to help him take back some ancestral moors from the Gobos. Okay, but we'll need a bit more muscle, and make sure they have guts too. Ha! I used to train militias. I'd break them and they'd heal up stronger. I retired because I just didn't have the stomach for it anymore. The DM tries to hide a smirk as I negotiate a retainer with Skelejokes, lost on everyone else in and out of character. So we hire a few mooks to help us scout out the area, get supplies, kit, etc. Turns out the Gobos are organized at the direction of a group of orcs. They've whipped them into shape and set them to building a wooden fort and getting dug in. Fucking orcs, man. What a pain in the coccyx. Good thing I was in charge of getting our kit. This is a lowish magic setting. There aren't just wizards summoning shotguns and leaving them everywhere. Only kings and up can afford their services anyway. When magic isn't an option, the best choice is always explosives. I've got a load of blasting jelly from the town's discount alchemist and apothecary packed in the bottom half of several barrels labeled rum, sealed with pitch, of course. We find out where they're raiding most. Set up extra wagon loaded with the rum, with a few tents and a campfire right in a raiding party's path. They take the bait. If I had a snake, it would be as solid as the rest of me at this sabotage. We know their booze stockpile is near the south wall of the fort, next to the orcs' quarters and food stores. Leftover blasting gel goes into the hands of several mooks, lion's share to the barbarian. Nightfall. Party is nervous. Tell them not to let it rattle their cages. Operation Reaper is a go. First break of dawn, I give the signal. Barbarian takes second crate loaded down with blasting jelly, lights the fuse, and rolls it at the fort's gate. Mooks sling bombs or shoot arrows tipped with blasting gel-filled coin purses over the walls. Draws out the majority of gobos. Just as planned. I use this distraction to smuggle myself, our monk, and our ranger over the south wall as Mook Squad retreats to cover of the forest. Ranger sets to work setting fire to the food stores while the cleric does the same for the walls in the barracks. I go to the booze as my minimum safe distance is naturally a bit shorter. Because, I'm a skeleton. No organs to rupture. That's the joke. Find my marked barrel, stick a fuse in it, and torch it. We hightail it out, only to encounter a lone orc war chief on our retreat. "You'll be meat for this, you scum!" "No, I won't." "Sorry to disappoint you, green skin," I shout as I take a running tackle. I'm as beefy as a skeleton can be. Lore reason for the full plate is that in life I was large and strong, and it's the only way I can throw my weight around. Regardless. Problem is, the living have the advantage when it comes to beefy. It's one of the few drawbacks of being a skeleton. I do manage to stagger and disarm the ugly fucker, though. Shout to my comrades to get to safety. Cleric obliges. Hunter stays. War Chief levels a haymaker. Nat 20. Knocks my helmet clean off. Consider my jimmies rattled. Take the broadsword to the orc. Natural 20. Too bad he wasn't wearing a helm. Ranger is what the fucking as she gets the paper slip that reveals my skeleton-entity. Shout, "We need to get out fast, let's not make bones about it right now." Not exploding overrides what the fuck energy. Lose helm, keep our lives. I pick a straw hat and rags from a gobbo corpse to cover my winning smile before returning to the fray. So glad I don't have a nose right now. Boom! Or ears. No more fort, no more orcs, and only a few disorganized gobbos left by the end of the day. We emerge victorious. Convince the ranger to stay mum till we pay off the mooks, which I get her to do promptly. Rendezvous with the rest of the party. Ranger sneaks up and takes my hat and scarf off. Barbarian what the fucks as hard as the ranger starts laughing out of character. Cleric starts with the praying conniptions and such. If I could roll my sockets, I would. Ranger asks me to explain, and I say, in my best disinterested deadpan, "I thought you guys knew, to be honest." Resounding pause while DM and Barb player contain themselves. It's a relief to know you didn't, though, come to think of it. Ranger. Wait. Why? I thought I was traveling with a bunch of dullards when none of you gave even a chuckle at any of my jokes. I almost gave up on 'em even. They realize I've been low-key throwing out skelepuns since session uno. Sensible chuckles were most certainly had. Here's the best part, though. Barbarian player is friends with Edgelord outside of RP. Nice enough IRL. And he tried to convince him I was playing a betrayal character for the DM and that I was undead. Barbarian player didn't believe him because of his mountains of salt about the whole affair. Edgerogue wouldn't drop it. Starts his own RP group, invites Barbarian player. DM is Magical Realm. PC's apparently similar caliber. Cringe is too strong. Barbarian and Edgerogue no longer speak. I played a stealth skeleton so convincingly that I ruined a friendship. My skull when. My group dubbed that campaign arc Skeleton Origins. What you mean? By the way, my character's name was Sphen Maxilae of Occipitous, or Sphen for short. This success is our first big score as a group. Sphen can't help but grin. Cat bones are out of the body bag, but it couldn't last forever. Sink part of my share into a replacement helm with stylized inlays depicting skull for style points. We work on retainer as agents for this noble for a while. Help fight border dispute for noble's duke. Gain a reputation as the best sellswords in the region. Dubbed Death's Hand by locals. Focus on small, targeted critical ops. Because of this, get paid the same as a much larger traditional force. We start racking up some serious bones. Duke wants to commend us on our work in securing him the adjacent region from the orcs. Border life isn't for the faint of heart. Great for the non-existent of heart, though. Oh god, wait. That Duke is not gonna like meeting me grimace to face. Remember how I said magicians were incredibly expensive? I could just about afford one for what I needed. Take my hard-earned ingots and head to the company battle mage. How good are you at artifice, friend? Terrible. Why do you ask, Sphen? I need some fleshing out, and you're the best man for the job. I lift my helm. Oh. Well, how does no one notice? My helm is literally a skull. I've got a horse cart of gold ingots for your work, and a second one for keeping your mouth shut. Sound good? And that's how Sphen got dressed up to meet a duke. Wizard makes me a magical mask that makes me appear as though I have flesh. The gods had to make a new plane of trolling to contain the layers of shenanigans this implement enabled. Meet the Duke, everything goes off without a hitch. Take a patella, Sphen. He knights me. If only he knew. He wants us to travel to his brother's barony to help with some of his unique problems. Excellent. He's got a venom-spewing drake going around mutilating cattle and all sorts of fucked up monster mash shit going on. Finally, a home. Advisor is a vampire, root him out, kill the drake with explosive bait, and the fact poison gas can't slow down the old calcium phosphate. Sphen and company start climbing up the feudal ladder. Baron's crazy sister invites me for a private audience. Tries to get me to have an audience with her privates. Uh-oh. Hand bones start to sweat. This is against my core morals, lady. She isn't deterred. Takes off the helm. Puts hand on mask. Mask comes off in embrace. Needless to say, we don't bone. Snatch mask and hightail it out of there. Great. Now I've got that to worry about. Baron is all, explain yourself privately to me. Roll for bluff. You're sister tried to consort with me in an immoral way, Baron. I refused her, and she no doubt wants revenge. Success. Baron doesn't like what he's hearing, but believes me. Tells me I should go. One of my favorite parts of being a Skelly is that magical realms and ERP is nearly impossible. We continue in this vein until we meet a good old-fashioned big bad evil guy. It's a wizard, vying for control by incensing violence in the orcs and political intrigue. Not superpowered, just talented with dickery. We smoke him out, hunt him down. Always seems to be one step ahead, though. Find his house, I'm the first in. Fireball to the chest. My floating ribs. Fight through the pain. Tackle this magical neat fuck. Acid touch. Oh, lord. Armor takes the brunt of it. It's wrestling time. DM struggles to keep a straight face, describing skeleton in nothing but gauntlets and boots, going full Skelemania on this magic user's ass. You better believe I tombstoned him. With the help of the based-as-fuck PCs, I managed to bury the chucklefuck. I'm injured and naked at this point. Cleric tries to lay on hands. Oh, God. No. Knocks me unconscious. Cleric. Oh, fuck. Ranger. Shit. Is he dead? He was dead in the first place. Right. Well, what are we gonna do now? They put me in a burlap sack and head back to Mother Base, carried by Based Barbarian. I'm the same old literal useless bag of bones I always was, but little did they know, I planned for this eventuality. Have an ironclad unliving will. Backstory engaged. Sphen was raised by a necromancer in Fakelandistan. Party finds out in the documents left to them that they have to seek him out to help me. Fine with taking a break from this group for a while. I was only here to introduce them to RP anyway. I am become MacGuffin, derailer of campaigns. I give the DM my prepped materials so he didn't have to try too hard to make it work. They travel to Fakelandistan, find out that in life I was the captain of the Vizier's Guard. Product of botched ritual to glean information from the other side. My wife still lives. She doesn't know I'm among the living because of my shame in my new form. Been sending her care packages the whole time, even documented my expenditures. They eventually find the Mancer in the desert. He agrees to help with a generous ingoting from my estate. Sphen makes his triumphant return. Oh, thank God. The other side of the veil is so dull. Wait. Why can't I feel anything from my waist down? Turns out the necro fucked up again. Fucking invertebrate magic users. Play out the rest of the session C-3PO'd to the Barbarian. Eventually find a competent artificer. Fashions me some iron prosthetics. I am a cyborg special snowflake in a gritty low-magic fantasy campaign. Rattles me just right. Meet my end at the hands of an acid-spewing eldritch horror. Nothing left but my skull and metal legs. Consider playing as a meme. Think better of it. My will gives a missive and majority share of estate to wife and descendants. Legs buried in my old plot. New epitaph to read, "Here lies what's left of Sphen. He lived twice. Friends from both should visit now and then." If life has you rattled, spooked, or down, remember that it could always be stranger. You could have been raised from the dead, illegally emigrated to Settings Fantasy Europe, and broke bread with the best mercenaries the world has to offer. So grow a spine and go about your business. Play other campaigns with this group every now and then. Sphen's skull becomes a cross-setting advice and joke-spewing relic.